Good day everyone. So, andito ako para i-report yung na-assign na topic sa amin. Ang title, Condition in the Philippines in the 19th Century. Siyempre, meron tayong objectives. So, ang objectives is, on this topic, we are able to know or to learn the political and social change that occurred in Europe in the 19th century and to analyze how the change in Europe affected in Asian colony. The first topic is the 19th century. The 19th century was a revolutionary period for European history and the time of great transformation in all shapers of life, human and civil rights, democracy and nationalism, industrialization, and free market system, all assured in a period of change and chance. Yun nga, yung 19th century, marami naganap na pagbabago at nagkameron ng chance yung tayong mga Pilipino. Liberal stirrings. From Europe reached the Philippines in the Ilocos, leading citizens, their called Calyanes, refused to believe that the Cadiz Constitution was abolished by King Ferdinand and rose up in revolt. Sino nga ba si Ferdinand? Si King Ferdinand ay pinanganak noong October 14, 1784 at namatay siya ng September 29, 1833. He was the King of Spain during the early to mid-19th century. He reigned over the Spanish Kingdom in 1808 and again from 1813 to his death in 1833. He was known to his supporters as El Deseado, the Desire, and to his detractors as El Rey Pelon, the Pelon King. By the 19th century, virtually all Southeast Asia lands had been forced into various spheres of influence of European global players, Sham, which had served as a convenient buffer state sandwiched between British Burma and French Indochina, was the only country to avoid direct foreign rule. However, its kings had to contend with the repeated demonization, accept unequal treaties among massive British and French political interference and territorial losses after the Franco-Siamese War in 1893 and the Anglo-Siamese Treaty of 1909. The last of the series of revolts took place in 1841 to 1842 when Apolinario de la Cruz refused to disband his religious organization, the Cofradías de San Jose. De la Cruz was aspired to be a priest but was refused by the Spaniards because of his race. Instead, he founded the Corpiaja, which gained popularity among ordinary people, was seen as a threat by the Catholic Church. Sino nga ba si Apolinario de la Cruz? At ano nga ba ang Cofradía de San Jose? Si Apolinario de la Cruz ay pinanganak noong July 22, 1815 at namatay siya noong November 4, 1841. Better known as Hermano Pule, also spelled Hermano Pule, was a Filipino religious leader who founded and led the Cofradía de San Jose. The Cofradía was established in 1832 in response to the racial discriminatory practice of the Catholic Church in the Philippines. During the Spanish colonial period, Catholic religious orders refused to admit native Filipinos as members. However, more troops were sent and the Cofradía was finally quelled by the colonial military force on November 1, 1841. Pule was the captured, tried, and executed. The defeats of native revolts demonstrated that the Philippines was disunited because of the lack of national identity. The Spaniards used this disunity to divide the rule of the country. In large towns, the parish priest and the head of local police were the only Spaniards. The colonial order was maintained largely by national officials. Local officials such as the gobernadorcillos, the consulment, and the principalia. Gobernadorcillos was a municipal judge or governor in the Philippines during the Spanish colonial period who carried out in a town the combined charge or responsibilities of leadership, economic, and judicial administration. The leader of a town or pueblo, people or population, in a coastal town, the gobernadorcillos functioned as a port captain. The principalia, or noble class, was the ruling and usual educated upper class in the pueblos of the Spanish Philippines, comprising the gobernadorcillos, who was later referred to as Captain Municipali, who had functions similar to a town mayor, lieutenants of justice, and the cabias de barangay, head of the barangays, who governed the districts. Former gobernadorcillos or municipal captains and municipal lieutenants in a good standing during their term of office.
Good afternoon to everyone and to Ma'am Gabe Balintos. I'm here to present about change in the 19th century had profound effects to the Philippines. During the previous century, it was forbidden for the Philippines to trade with other countries because of Spain's monopolistic policy, but colonial officials ignored this instruction and traded with other nations. Nasabi daw dito, nung nakaraang siglo daw, pinagbabawal ang pagkalakalan sa ibang bansa dahil sa patakaran ng monopolistic ng Espanya. Pero hindi ito pinansin ng opisyal ng kolonyal. Ang instruction na ito, bagkus na ipinagpatuloy nila ang pagkalakalan sa ibang bansa. Go. The created economic opportunities as many families began trading this product for the international market. These families were mostly mestizos consisting of Spanish and Chinese families. They intermarried with natives who were farmers that become trade. Sabi, lumika ito ng oportunidad sa ekonomiya dahil sa maraming pamilya ang nagsisimula maipagkalakalan sa mga produktong ito para sa international product na kung saan ang pamilyang ito ay karamihan mestizos na kabilang narito ang Spanish at Chinese families. As they become more affluent and form the nucleus of the middle class. The increased wealth allowed middle class families how to better house and send children to college and university for tertiary education. They obtain higher education degrees with they become concerned with issues as equality including secularization. Sabi, dito naman nakukuha nila na mas mataas na ang na degree ng edukasyon na sa palagay nila ang ginagawang pantay para sa mga Espanyol na kaunahan. Talaga alas sila sa mga issue sa pagkakapantay-pantay ng kabilang na ang secularization. By the time of Rizal, the quest for equality was the cry of the times. Influenced Rizal through his life and become his lifelong quest. Other parts in colony like Iloilo, Cebu, Sual, Pangasinan, and Zamboanga follow. Sabi, sa lahat na ito ay sa panahon ng kabataan ni Rizal, ang paghahangad para sa mga pagkakapantay ay ang sinisigaw ng mga panahon na iyon. At sa inyong impluwensya ni Rizal sa buong buhay niya, ito ang naging mahabang paghabol niya sa buhay.